Beautiful. So here we go with lesson 2. So the day before, we were making equivalent fractions with the models, right? The area model and with numbers and multiplication and things like that, right? Today, we're going to also make equivalent fractions, okay? But we're going to do it with sums of fractions with like denominators. Okay, take a second. Read that again to yourself in your head. Think about what that means. What does it mean to work with sums? Think to yourself, what is a sum? And then also, what's the denominator? What does it mean to have like denominators? Okay. Think about that. You're thinking to yourself in your head. Serious answers only. Please turn and tell your neighbor what you think. Go. Okay. Serious answers only, please. I want to hear what you think. What do we think is going on here? All right, Charlie, go ahead.
Sums is uneven numbers.
Good guess. Not quite though. Okay. Let's break it down. Class, what is the sum? What does sum refer to? Go.
The answer to an addition problem.
Yes, answer to an addition problem. Okay. So we're working with addition. Okay. Addition. Oh, that was a good guess, Charlie. That was really good. Addition. Okay. So somehow addition is going to be involved. Okay. Raise your hand for telling me what you think like denominators means. What does like denominator mean? Kira, go ahead. Exactly that, sister. Yes. Okay. So same bottom number. Okay. So all these ones that we're working with are just going to have the same number on the bottom. Okay. Which makes it super easy. And so really you guys just have to understand, basic adding today. And that's pretty much it. But we're going to put it in like a different context. Okay. Let's see. Do we want to? We kind of already reviewed this, so we're gonna keep going. We're not doing that. Nope. All right. Okay. I will talk for a little bit, and then you guys will join me in a second on your whiteboards. Are you ready?
See.
So right now, what I want from you is desks closed, hands are together. I like how Eddie's looking at me very intently. Thank you. Drew, same thing. Awesome. Kira, thank you. Beautiful. I want to wait till I see some eyes from everybody. Good. It's the best way to show me that you are ready to go. All right. Cool. So we've got 1/3 plus 1/3. We're also doing like kind of a basic basic toe touch into the pool of adding fractions as well. Okay. So something that can be helpful with this, and I can't remember if I talked about it with 5th grade last year or you guys last year. Okay. But bottom line, it's good to have a review if we did already talk about it. But this sounds kind of silly, okay? But can we add, I'm going to give you an example. Let's say Miss Carrillo walked in here right now, okay? I'm an adult. Miss Carrillo's an adult, okay? So 1 adult plus 1 adult, what does that equal?
2 adults.
2 adults. Good. 2 adults. Okay? Fractions are the same thing. Remember we were talking about decimals, right? And I used like tennis balls or whatever, right? It's like, 1/10 plus 1/10 equals 2/10, right? It's the same concept. So when I have a fraction, right? Same thing like decimals. Or when we were working with like decimal fractions of 3 thousandths plus 3 thousandths, it's just like adding 3 tennis balls plus 3 tennis balls, right? It's the same thing here. So if I have 1/3 plus 1/3, okay, I just add them like I'm adding anything else, right? 1 marker plus 1 marker equals 2 markers. So 1/3 plus 1/3 is going to give me 2/3. Okay? Everybody got that?
Yes.
Okay. A way that I can show that pictorially, as they say, so like with a picture, right, is if I had like my little rectangular fraction model, right, and I had 1/3 and 1/3, okay? out of this picture, I have 1/3 plus 1/3, which ultimately equals 2/3. So if I were to put this little guy in this other model, right? He would just move over here. This goes away. It's still the same value, right? So 1/3 plus 1/3 gives me 2/3. Are we good on that?
Yeah.
Okay, quickly, Lily, yeah.
Why don't you add the two values?
Because that's the unit. So we don't want to change the unit, okay? That's a great question, though. I'm glad you brought that up. Because if I were, so this is wrong. Don't do this, okay? Do not do this.
Wrong.
Yeah. So 1/3 plus 1/3. If I were to add both the numerator and the denominator, okay? So 1 plus 1 is 2. 3 plus 3 is 6, okay? If I had 1/3 plus 1/3, is 2/6 shown up there at all?
No.
No, that's 2/3, right? So 6ths and thirds are different, okay? It would be like adding, I'm trying to think of an example. Like, that would be kind of like adding, like, me plus Jimena. What do you get with that, right? Like, with Miss Carrillo and I, it was an adult plus an adult, and we got 2 adults. But if I tried to add, like, me and then Jimena, right? Because Jimena's a child, right? Not like you, like, act like a child, but just your child age, right? So, like, I can't add an adult plus a child. Because it's just different units, right? We're just different things. But I could say a human plus a human, right? That does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, but banana plus a pineapple.
Right, you can't add it together.
Equals.
Yeah. All right.
Pineapple.
Okay, we got a lot of people who are having their own conversations. Okay, I know these are silly things that we're talking about, like an apple plus a banana. Doesn't make sense, right? But even though it's silly, we can use it to help us, and then we just move. Okay? Eddie, can I wait just 1 second? Can I finish this, and then we good? Okay. So what you're gonna do today is you're gonna show it numerically, but mostly on a number line. Okay? So you're gonna show it like how I did, like this. Okay? 1/3 plus 1/3 equals 2/3. Okay? But you're also gonna show it on a number line. So again, 0 and 1. Okay? Remember 0, if you need to label the 0 and the 1, you can, okay? So 0 is 0/3. 1 is 3/3, okay? Which means that 1/3 goes here, 2/3 goes here, okay? So 1/3, 2/3. And then this is 3/3, right? So everything that we're working with for the most part today falls between 0 and 1, okay? So just 1 second, Charlie. I want you to kind of see this first, okay? So what you guys are going to do is you're going to show it on a number line by using kind of like arrows. So really we start with nothing, okay? So when we start with nothing, what number do I start at?
0.
0. Class, when I have nothing, what do I start at?
0.
0. So you're going to kind of show a dot on 0. That's where we start, okay? And then I'm adding, okay, 1/3 plus 1/3, okay? And what did I get?
2/3.
2/3, okay? So this is what you're doing today, okay? Pretty simple. I mean, obviously the fractions are going to get a little more complicated, but this is the foundation of what we're doing today, okay? Yes, Charlie. And then Eddie.
So, like, the end, doesn't it always have to be equal to the number below?
Mm-hmm. That means it's a whole, right? So again, with like if I were to show the model, right? Is that a whole yet, Charlie? That's 1/3. Is that a whole yet? No. Is that a whole yet? What fraction is that?
That is 3/3.
3/3, right? So basically it means, remember we also say 3 out of 3. So 3 out of 3 total are colored in, which means 1. Okay, like 1 whole is colored in. Okay? All right, any other questions on the number line? Sorry, Eddie, I keep forgetting. Go ahead.
If you do it the wrong way, it's like putting ice cream on yogurt. Wait, sorry,
Yeah.
yogurt on eggs.
Yeah.
My
My
sister
sister
did that
Ew,
once.
Ew,
That's
gross.
good.
You should
Strawberry
All right.
yogurt
All
on
right.
eggs.
Sounds good.
Okay. Where's slacking on that a little bit, my friends. Okay, so pick it up. Remember, as soon as you hear the chimes, head is up, hands come together, done talking, right? Pencil should be away right now. You don't need to pencil out. Put it in your desk. Especially if you're drawing on the desk. That's not a cool move, okay? All right, moving on. So, again, we have 0, we have 1, okay? 0 fourths, 1, or no, sorry, not 1/4, 4 fourths, okay? Which means that it goes like this, 1/4, 2 fourths. 2 fourths is also equivalent to what?
1/2.
1/2. So it should be directly in half if you can. And then 3 fourths. Okay? Notice how I didn't put the 0 and the 1 this time? You can choose whether you want to or not. As long as you know that 0 fourths is the same thing as 0 and 4 fourths is the same as 1. Okay? So then again, I start at 0. Okay? And I'm adding 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4. Okay? What's 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4? Go.
3/4.
3/4.
3/4.
Okay? So there's my answer. Okay? Yes, Donnie.
But how come we add the 0 fourth and really we don't really need to? Because 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4 is all we really need to add on. I mean, 0 is not really a number. It's just a digit.
Where do we start though? If I don't have the 0 on there, where do I start? Why would I start at 1 and go for it? That would get me into 5 fourths, 6 fourths, 7 fourths, right? We got to start at nothing. So like if I wanted to count how many markers I have, I got to start with nothing, right? And then, I grab a marker. So I'm automatically go from 0 to 1 marker.
Because I just thought it made it look like 5 fourths because it's 0, 1, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because there are 5 digits on the number line.
But remember, friend, too, if we're counting like on a calendar, if we want to find out how many days it is until Jackson's birthday, right? Jackson's birthday is on the 8th. Today it's the 2nd. So we would start on nothing, right? We start basically on the day that we're on. And then we go to the next day, right?
Okay.
Like we wouldn't count today because today is already happening, right? So there's no new day after today. Okay? Does that help?
Yes.
So Jackson, how many days till your birthday?
6.
Nice.
7?
Yeah, 6. Okay. Can I wait on questions for 1 more minute? I just want to get to like 1 more and then I'll answer your questions. Is that cool? Okay. So then here's where it gets a little more complicated. Okay? And we're actually going to split today's lesson into, you're just going to do one part of the homework and we'll do the second part together tomorrow. Okay? So again, if I want to write 0 and 1, I can. Okay? So this would be, I'm working with eighths, so this would be 0 eighths. This would be 8 eighths, which means that I have to fill in that gap with my eighths, right? So 1 8, 2 8, 3 8, 4 8, 5 8, 6 8, 7 eighths, okay? And I'm gonna write it just for right now, okay? But in the future, if you guys just want to write like the 0, the half, and the 1, you can do that, okay?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, what am I doing? Sorry. I can't talk and write at the same time. I really shouldn't do that. 4 eighths.
Don't talk and drive.
Thanks.
48,
Watch out for the
6, 7
Okay.
million, 8, 6.
All right, so again, same thing, guys, okay? I start at 0. What's the first thing I'm adding?
1, 3, 8.
Okay, can you do me a favor when I ask you a question? Can you look at the board and then answer and not just shout something out? Okay, starting at 0. What's the first thing I'm adding?
3,
Okay, count with me 3 eighths. Here we go.
1,
2,
3, 8.
Thank you for saying eighths. I did say count with me eighths, right?
What?
So 1 8, 2 8, 3 8, right? 1 8, 2 8, 3 8. So I'm at 3 eighths. Okay, what's the next thing I'm adding?
3, 8.
3 more eighths. Good. Are you ready?
Yes.
I want to hear 1 8, 2 8, 3 8.
Yeah.
Quietly and calmly, please. We don't need to get crazy. Okay? Here we go. Go.
1, 8, 2, 8, 3, 8.
Okay. Those of you who are just saying 1, 2, 3, you're not following directions. 1 8, 2 8, 3 8.
Oh, I thought
Okay?
it was 4,
Then.
4, 5, 6.
Oh, I see. Okay. So that's a good point. That's a good point. We are doing like 3/8 plus 3/8, right? So we should just go 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 1/8, 2/8, 3/8. But if you want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that's fine. Okay. All right. We're not done. Okay. So we added this guy. We added this guy. What do I add last?
1/8.
Okay. Here we go. Ready? Go.
7/8.
7/8. So 3/8 plus 3/8 plus 1/8 equals what?
7/8.
7/8. And then if you see, and before you ask, do we have to do the number line? Yes, you have to do the number line, but do you see how the numerical part matches the number line part?
Yeah.
So 3 plus 3 is 6, plus 1 gives me 7, okay? And as always, the denominator stays the same, okay? So do you guys see now we're working with the sum, right? Answer to an addition problem, and like denominators. All the denominators are the same, okay? Whew. All right, now I'll take your questions. We'll do a couple together, and then we're going to move on. Okay, Lily, Johnny, Eddie.
So, kind of like going back to you were explaining what is 0 to 1. How would you get into like 2 and like up to 5 with like
Remind me what an improper fraction is.
it's more than 1, but like how many would you have to do like 27?
It depends on the unit. Depends on the unit. Okay? So we'll get there. Don't worry, we'll get there. Okay? Donnie.
My favorite part about when you were tapping the board is when you put your pen out and then your eyes got wide and you're like tap 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 tap.
Okay. I'm glad you enjoyed that. Thank you. Eddie.
I was taught to just immediately put denominator down and then count up the numerators.
You can when we get more to like addition. For right now, like when we actually do like adding fractions. But for today, I want you to do like the whole number line and then just write the fraction. Okay? Go ahead, Nelly. All right. When I say go,
Right there.
we should not be taking things out. Things should be off our laps, in our desks. Here's the guys can see things, but I do. Okay?
Oh, you got contacts.
I do.
You can see everything.
He came late. Yeah. Okay.
She's like an eagle.
When I say go. When I say go, please quietly get out your whiteboard and your marker and have your whiteboard flipped over. Okay? Ready? Go.
Miss Witt, sometime you should trick us on that and say like, vote, no, show,
Nah.
go. I think I have the most writing on the back. I think I do. No, I do. I think no. Did you say I ate corn? Guys, Madison does. She overruled all of you. No. Look at this. Look at this.
It doesn't matter if it's right,
Can I get some like, can we get 5 minutes? Hey, class, go ahead and please put those whiteboards away back in your desk. All right. Jackson, can you do me a favor? Can you remind me what the direction was for when I say go? What was it?
It was get out your whiteboard and flip it over.
There was one part of that we missed.
Silently.
Bingo. Bingo. I said quickly and quietly, right? So when I'm writing a problem up on the board and I hear talk about who has the most writing on the back of their whiteboard, who has it? No. Does that sound like silent to you? No. Okay? Class, one more try, and then we won't use whiteboards today, okay? If we can't handle it, we'll just put them away. And you'll have to help me verbally, okay? Sound good?
Yeah.
Okay, ready? Put that desk down. Everybody put your hands on your desk. Here. Do good. Have fun. There it is. Go. Okay. Cool. Charlie, please flip it over. Thank you. All right, are we good to go?
Yeah.
Should your caps be off your markers?
No.
No. Okay. When I say go, please draw your number line and try this with your elbow partner, okay? Even if you know how to do it by yourself, please do it with your elbow partner. Check in with them. Make sure they know what they're doing, okay? Ready? Go. You have a minute and a half. Draw the number line. Solve the problem. Get the final sum. Pro tip, I would start by putting 0 and 1 first, and then that helps you fill in everything in between, okay? So there should be like 10 little sections between 0 and 1.
1 second, Mika.
Okay, I'll extend it by a little bit. Let's take 1 more minute, okay?
That was a minute.
It was about 30 seconds. It's like we'll do 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
You don't have to do that.
And then what would 2 times? Hey, focus more on the adding part. Don't make it too pretty. Okay? You don't have to make it too pretty.
So we're gonna start with this one. So get your marker ready.
Together.
Do you want me to flip it over? So 1, 2. So make your board mark there. And then we're gonna go 4 times.
I like what you're doing here. Although I do want you to do like 1 tenth, 2 tenths, 3 tenths, all the way up to 10. Okay?
And add
The first one should be 1 tenth. Okay? So this is 0 tenths. This is 1 tenth. What comes after 1 tenth? 2 tenths. So fill it all in. 1 should be 10. Okay? So it should be 1 tenth. Okay? Hey, 1 more minute, my friends.
End up with 8 tenths.
See?
Good. Keep going all the way to 9. Okay? 7, yep. Good, yeah, and then extend it a little bit and put 1, okay? So good. Now you have 0, then 1 tenth, 2 tenths, 3 tenths, 4 tenths, 5 tenths, 6 tenths, 9 tenths, and then this would be a 10 tenths, right? Because remember, when it's the same on the top and the bottom, it's 1, right? So now, start at 0, and then add 2 tenths, plus the 4 tenths, plus the 3 tenths. You should get your final answer, okay? And then kind of check it with the big thing, make sure it's good. I like how Brooks and Mila flipped their boards over when they were done. I'm sure they did it quietly when they did theirs. Thank you, Donna and Mika. All right. Okay, that means pause. Thank you, Drake, for putting the cap on the marker. Awesome. Okay. Class, when I snap my fingers, tell me what you got for the sum. Ready?
See?
8 tenths.
Yes, it is 8 tenths. Okay.
What's on the end?
Here's what that looks like. Okay. Okay. So here's the step by step. One more time. Okay. So again, pro tip: set up the 0 and 1 first. Okay. Remember that 0 is 0 tenths, because that's what we're working with, right? Depends on the fraction that we're working with. 0 is 0 tenths. 1 is 10 tenths. Are we good there so far?
Yep.
Okay. So then all you need to do from there is fill in 1 through 9. Amen?
Amen.
All right.
Amen.
So
What?
this would be 1 tenth, 2 tenths, 3 tenths, 4 tenths, 5 tenths, 6 tenths, 7 tenths, 8
Amen.
tenths, 9 tenths.
Amen.
Okay?
I'm in. No. I'm one.
and just for the sake of time, I'm only going to fill in like the 1, the half, and then the last one, okay? All right. Here we go. So, we start at what?
0.
We start at what? Go.
0, 10.
Okay. My first thing I'm adding, tell me.
2 10.
Okay, I'm going to count this one on my own. Here we go. So 1 10, 2 tenths. Okay. Next thing I'm adding, go.
4 10.
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Last thing I'm adding, go.
2 10.
1, 2. Okay. What number comes before 9?
8.
So that means my final answer is 8 tenths. Okay. All right. Questions on what we did?
No.
Because it's going to get a little more tricky. Kira.
Can you just go like 2 and go like 3 and 4 and 2, or do you have to do like 2
I would do the individual jumps for now. Okay. In the future, you can do more. You can do like, okay, I know from here to here is 2, and then 4, and then But for right now, just so there's less room for error if you do each one. And then we can count like by 2s after that.
Wait, so we can't do this?
No, I would rather you do like each individual one. Okay. All right. Back to the lesson. Do me a favor. Erase your board and flip it over. Go. You guys are troopers. I know we've been doing this for a long time. Thank you for being patient with that. Okay. That's not how long we've been doing the lesson. Okay. Remember we started late. We started at like 10:15. We did what was good at recess. We talked for a little bit. Then we did the notebook. Okay, that took about 20 minutes. So we've only been doing this for like 30.
Yeah.
Which is like normal.
Someone said an hour. I was like, what? We've only
No.
been doing this for about 20 minutes.
It's been an hour since we came back from recess, but we have not been doing this yet, okay? All right, but you guys are still champs, okay? And then raise your hand or something. Like let's do it quickly. All right. Okay. Cool. Emma, keep going. There you go. All right. Everybody's whiteboard is flipped over.
Oh, yes, it
I
is.
think so.
Okay. All right. So here's where it gets tricky, but you guys can handle it, okay? So here we've got 6 halves. Don't say anything yet. What do you notice about that fraction that we've got up there? Don't say anything. Class, what is that fraction called? Go.
Improper fraction.
Improper fraction. That is true. Which means that it's going to be bigger than what? 1. Good. So our answer, right, because we already have the sum, but now we need to find the factors, right? So we already have the sum. Our sum is bigger than 1, okay? We've got 6 halves. 6 halves. So, let me show you what that looks like, okay? So if I were to split these in half, okay, I might need more, and that's okay. But here's my unit, halves, right? Here's 1 half, 2 halves, okay, that's 1 whole, right? 2 halves equals 1 whole.
Yep.
Are we good there?
Yeah.
Okay, so then I keep going. 3 halves, 4 halves, that's 2 wholes, okay? Was it 5 halves and 6 halves? So what is actually my whole number as an answer? 3, okay? So 6 halves is the same thing as 3, okay? We don't necessarily need to know that right now, but that does help, okay? So basically what they want me to do is to come up with the fractions that I added together to get my 6 halves. So you guys are going to go backwards, okay? So you're going to go backwards. They're going to give you the answer, and you have to write what you add together to get that, okay? Good?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you're going to show that on your number line. All right? And then on the homework too, it probably won't have you do the number line, but it is helpful. Okay? So we know that 6 halves is already 3 wholes. Okay? So Lily, do you see how it depends on the unit now, right?
Yeah.
Like halves are really big, but if we were to split the whole into like 12s, you would need a lot of 12s in order to get up to 3, right? Because 12s are actually smaller than halves. So
it's like backwards basically. 'Cause
yes.
Like 100 is really big, but if you go to hundreds,
Yeah.
it's really small.
Exactly.
Like
Exactly.
1 is really small.
Yeah.
But in like ones in like this
Yeah.
unit would
Yeah.
be really big, so it could be like split.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to take what I showed you with the rectangular fraction model, okay, and use that for my addition sentence, okay? So here I did 2 halves plus 2 halves plus 2 halves, okay? So really, my answer is just going to be this, okay? 2 halves plus 2 halves plus 2 halves. So if I were to show that on my number line, okay? Remember, this is 0 halves. This is 2 halves. This is 4 halves. And this is 6 halves. Okay? Which makes this 1 half. This is 3 halves. And this is what?
5 halves.
5 halves. Thanks, Brooks.
It's all up. It's all completed.
Okay? So then I would show it like this, right? I start at 0. I add 2 halves. 1, 2, which is really just 1, right? 1, 2, 1, 2. And I get my answer. Are we good? Were we playing with it? It just flew off?
I saw it.
With just flew?
It was
flew.
in the back of the head. It was right here and then it went. But I caught it.
All right. Cool. Here we go. So, could I technically have written a different addition sentence? Yes. Think about it. Does anybody have any ideas of what that could look like? Henry, go for it.
It could have been 3 halves and like 2 3 halves.
Good, yeah. 3 halves plus what?
Plus 3 halves.
Yeah, good. I also could have said 3 halves plus 3 halves. Oh, my bad. Can't talk and write at the same time.
Plus 2.
Okay, so that's another addition sentence I could do. Oliver, do you have another one?
Yeah.
What do you got?
You can do 0 halves plus 6 halves.
Yeah, 0 halves plus 6 halves. Exactly. Charlie, give me another one.
You could do 1 half plus 2 halves plus 3 halves.
Yes, exactly. Good. Beautiful. 1 half plus 2 halves plus 3 halves. Yes. Luke, give me another one.
5 halves plus 1 half.
5 halves plus 1 half. Good. And we'll take one more. Brady, go ahead.
1 half plus 2 halves. 1 half plus 2 halves plus 1 half plus 2 halves.
Okay, yes, you could do that as well. Good. I was also thinking 4 halves plus 2 halves, right? Could do that as well. So, does that kind of make sense what you guys are going to be doing with that part?
Yeah.
Okay, you ready to try one?
Yep.
All right, let's do
So really hard.
this one. Sorry.
Yes.
Let's do this one. Okay, and then this will be our last one today. Okay. So here's what I want you to do. Don't start yet. When I say go, you can write more than 2 parts if you want. Okay. If you want to do like 3 or 4, that's fine. But let's like cap it at 4. We don't need to do like 1/5 plus 1/5 plus 1/5 plus 1/5 plus 1/5, right? We don't need to do that. That would defeat the purpose of what we're doing today. So keep it condensed, but get creative with it, okay? You don't have to do 3/5 plus 5/5. You can if you want, but let's try and get creative. So you can do like anywhere between 2 and 4 pieces of the addition sentence. Does that make sense?
See.
And then show me on your whiteboard. Sound good?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to give you 3 minutes because it takes some time to draw everything and all that. But you got 3 minutes. Ready? Go.
No.
You're doing the number line and the addition sentence, okay? Number line and addition sentence. If you need some help, you can ask your neighbor as well. I'm sure they would be happy to help you.
Question about math and fun. Like, is this good for the addition?
Yeah, no, it's good.
I thought we had to do 2 of them.
That is 2 right there. But yeah, you can do more if you want. Like if you wanted to do more, you could.
So I'm asked so much. Help these habits.
Oh, nice. But where are you getting 6 from? Oh, okay. Try and make it a little clearer then. Just so I don't get confused here. Although, what do you notice about the 8 bits? Like what kind of fraction is that? What would, for fifths, what would be 1 whole? Yeah, good. But we have 8 fifths, right? So is it going to be bigger than 1? Yeah. So actually, you scoot your 1 over this way, and then you're actually going to write it in fifths. Okay. So not eighths. I know that's a little confusing, but so from 0 to 1, you should have 0 fifths, 1 fifth, 2 fifths, 3 fifths, 4 fifths, 5 fifths, and then like 6 fifths, 7 fifths after 1. Okay. Does that help a little bit? Yeah. Okay. You got about 1 more minute. Keep going. When you're done, you can flip your whiteboard over. So that way I know you're good to go. When you're done, you can flip your whiteboard over. So that way I know you're good to go. Here. Yes, you can. Or you can even stop it. Yeah, that's probably You're not really obsessed. And then, what? Just a quick question. What is, what number is 5 bits going to be at? Your normal number, not the fraction. Not 5. What is 5 bits? Yeah, so it'll be the 1. Okay. 5 bits is that. You're looking at
Okay, that was.
All right.
He died. He fell off the cliff.
Okay, we need to stop. Okay, thank you, Lily, for pausing. I think Brady's got his hands folded. Thank you, Henry, although a less scary face would be nice. Thank you. All right. There you go, put that cap on the marker, homie. Put your mask on. All right. Cool. I'm seeing a lot of different variations, and they all look awesome. Okay. Remember, with these, there are going to be a number of answers that you can put. Okay. So when you're doing your homework, remember that, and then we're correcting the next day. Remember that you're going to have a number of different. Everyone's going to have different responses. Okay. Question, Luke?
Can I show mine?
No. We're just going to do like a quick one. Okay. So, well, actually, Luke, go ahead. Go ahead.
Mine was 2 fifths plus 1 fifth
All right. Good.
Half a fifth would be
You say, do you happen to know what half of a fifth would be?
0.5.
2.5.
Nope, 2.5.
Yep. 2.5.
No.
That's half a
That's
fifth.
half of
That's half
5.
of 5. That's a fifth. Though.
Yeah.
Half a fifth.
We
Yeah, we're
can't-
dealing with 5, right? You can't split half a fifth.
A decimal is a fraction, so you can't have a fraction in a fraction. Okay.
Henry was right. 2.5. We're hanging. It's a fucking fraction. It's called a line.
Class, what fraction do I have shown on the board right now?
1/5.
Okay. Half of 1/5. 1/10. 1/10.
Plus 1/10 plus another 1/10.
All right. Anyway,
Wait, can I show mine?
He's a big.
now we're just gonna go with that. Okay.
I have a
So,
question.
can I answer your question after? Is that okay? Okay. Thank you. All right. 0. What fraction is at 0? Think about it carefully. Hint: you should not say 8s. This is incorrect. What fraction should be at 0? Ready? Go.
0/5.
Yes, 0/5. Awesome.
Wait, why would
Okay.
you say 8?
People tend to confuse the numerator and the denominator, so they see 8 and they're like, "Ooh, I gotta put 8."
I almost
Sorry.
just said 0.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Leela, what fraction are we working with? What fraction is this? 8/5. Good. What kind of fraction is 8/5?
8/5
Improper fraction. Good. Class, improper fraction means it's going to be what?
Goofy. More than 1 whole.
More than 1 whole. So that means we got to have 1, okay, which is 5/5. And so it's going to be a little bit bigger than 1. Okay? All right. So we're trying to get to 8/5. Okay? This does take some time, so you got to be patient with yourself today, okay? All right, I know that's not even, but we're running out of time. All right, cool. Start at 0. Work it with Luke's problem. What do I add first?
2/5. 2/5. What I said. Someone else said it, and then it just subtracted.
When I ask you a question and you're not sure what the answer is, should you just respond with, ah? No. I don't think it's funny. We're wasting time. We could have been done with this many minutes ago. Okay? So, class, looking at Luke's problem, what's the first thing I'm going to add when I start at 0?
2/5.
Okay?
It's not on the board.
Okay, here's my 2/5. What do I add next?
1/5.
1/5. What do I add next?
4/5.
What do I add next?
1/5.
Okay, did I get 8/5?
Yes.
Success. Okay. Last questions, and then we are going to be done. Brady.
I just have a homework. We have homework tonight because I have a long day. I have dentist and I have baseball and a bunch of stuff. I won't get it done.
Class, what have I been saying through the lesson?
If you have some homework.
On
For the homework.
For your homework. On your homework. Blah, blah, blah. Homework.
I don't think I have it there.
Emma.
With you.
Oh. All right. Any other questions? All right. Please erase your board. Put it away.
I don't know.